Episode 1 of New Music Daily. We promised you Selena Gomez in the room, and you're here.
I am here.
You made it. Timing is perfect. Music, you seem happy. We finally get to meet.
Thanks.
It's a good
I know.
thing.
I love this.
Me too.
Always having a relationship over the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Not good.
I thought it was okay. I mean, the last couple of conversations we had, I felt like it teed it up perfectly for this moment right here.
Well, I'm happy to be here in person.
Yeah, we're all happy to have you back. And music sounding amazing. A little bit of crying, a lot of dancing, like both sides of the coin kind of covered in one
Yeah,
go.
exactly. You know?
Yeah.
It's what females feel in general.
It's what everybody feels in
Yeah,
general.
it's everyone, actually.
Catch me outside on a Wednesday.
Yeah, basically.
That's going to be me.
Oh,
without
that's
a shadow.
just a Monday morning, everyone.
That's my favorite kind of thing to do, is to cry while I'm dancing. It's true.
Sometimes.
It's true. It's great. It's like where you feel the emotion. And we're feeling it. We're feeling the fact that you are back and have music that you want to share, and I'm sure more to share. And you said it happened by accident. You said the songs just, I guess, got finished. And in this day and age, why hold on to them? Can you elaborate a little bit on that, Selena?
Sure. I mean, I had been working on the album for 4 years. I didn't want to release anything that was mine just because I didn't feel like it was the right timing. I learned a lot from the last album, and I wanted to take what I've learned and turn it into something even better. And I'm glad I did, because this year, everything kind of just started pouring out of me. I started saying things in a way that I've never been able to articulate them before. So it was actually exactly when it needed to happen.
Yeah,
like I told you earlier, we shot the videos just a week ago.
Yeah.
And that's really unheard of without any sort of rollout or...
No, you're on your wave. You finally get up and you get on the board and you ride the wave, and it all comes together and you catch it.
Well, hopefully it comes together.
It's coming together.
And that's my goal. So yeah, it's been good so far.
What got you to a place where you could start to tell your truth in that kind of uninhibited way? And I guess I'll be a little more specific. Like, I've done it all, man. I've done the therapy. I've been through the process. I stand by all of it. The more tools I can have to better express myself in order to be a good person, the better I'm going to be.
Of course. I agree. I've been in therapy for years. I've also taken breaks and gone places to recollect my thoughts and my emotions and my well-being. And
how far afield? I mean, do you literally go walk about to get away from it all?
Yeah, of course. I feel like you have to. But I've always been pretty transparent about what I've gone through. I just choose how I'm going to do it, because it would be inauthentic for me to just not say what I felt in the beginning of the year or last year, or it just wouldn't seem real to me.
But I like what you're saying, in the sense that you choose the distribution of that information. Like, you control what you give when you give it.
Right.
Which is kind of like, that's a beautiful compromise between being honest, but also being honest in your own time.
Right. And that's the beauty of it.
When did you learn that skill?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I just think trial and error, right? I've been doing this for a while, and, I've learned very quickly that people are going to narrate your life, and that's not always necessarily the best thing. So I wanted to claim my voice, and I continue to do that in the best way that I can. Because, you're not going to get the truth anywhere else but from me.
Exactly. Do you want to dance, or do you want to cry first?
Let's get out a good cry. Why not?
Lose You to Love Me right here. Beautiful video. If you haven't seen it, you must go do it. All shot on iPhone. We're proud to play a part in that. Shouts to David Taylor and the whole crew.
Yay.
I don't even know if he'd appreciate that, but I'm giving him one nonetheless. I might even give him a little explosion. Wow, I just dropped a bomb on a ballad. Let's get it. Lose You to Love Me right here. Selena Gomez on New Music Daily. Yeah, it's a beautiful, honest piece of music. It says a lot. Of course, it raises a lot of questions too. Great music always does.
Right.
It always does. And I wonder what your relationship is like when you're writing a song like that, knowing that the kind of human being that you are, with the level of passion that you instill in your fan base, and also the level of attention that comes with that. If that ever affects your creative process, I know you try to block it out, but does it sneak itself in?
No, to be honest, it doesn't anymore. Because I spent years living in fear of speaking up or saying things, and I guess that's just the people pleaser in me. And there was a huge moment where I just stopped caring. And I can't tell you when that moment was. I really can't. But it's not that I'm trying to make it specifically about just one subject in my life. It's more just how I embody all of the experiences into one. And I fully believe that this is always just something that I'm going to be passionate about. I don't want to not express what I feel, because I know there's millions of people who feel the exact same way. And I know growing up, all I wanted was to just connect to my favorite artists and listen to music when I felt happy, when I felt sad or frustrated. And
Who were they?
oh man, it was all over the place.
Let's go.
I mean,
Let's go there.
It was, I'd say Bread, the Eagles.
Wow, David Gapes. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta love a little bit of old school, Fleetwood Mac.
Absolutely.
And then it just depends. Then I go back into like, I love Tiana Taylor, Sabrina Claudio, her.
Summer Walker, that album is outrageous. Have you heard that?
So good.
What? For those people that are tapping in right now and listening, it's New Music Daily episode 1. We've already had an amazing show, but it's obviously that much better now. Selena is here and we're getting a chance to chop it up. And we spoke a little bit about some of the artists and the music that moved you when you were younger. And you mentioned some real timeless influences, Bread, Fleetwood Mac. How does a young artist or a young person who loves that kind of music find themselves in this whirlwind of fast-paced pop culture where it's bright and colorful and sparkly and smiley? Those are artists that break hearts.
Right.
How did you get there and how did that feel knowing your soul, I'm being super assumptive here, but your soul kind of spoke something else?
Yeah, that's actually very accurate. I'll start with how I grew up because my mom was in theater and she had this huge music library. I mean, from Ella Fitzgerald to Reba McEntire to,
wow,
then again, going to Frank Sinatra, the Eagles and all of that. My mom, Rolling Stones, she was very much.
She's a song fan, huh?
Oh, for sure. And I definitely get some of that from her. But then my dad was a DJ. So he would do all kinds of stuff and he was on the radio for a bit doing Tejano music. And so I had this experience in my life where I experienced the beautiful colors of music and where it can take you. And I think it naturally happened for me. I remember I wanted to be like Paramore at one point.
Good
I
shout.
thought, this is my lane. I feel it. That lasted about 3 months.
Good 3 months though. We're big Paramore fans here. I mean, Hayley Williams as a songwriter and as a melodic songwriter.
She's a genius.
One of the best.
I literally love her. But I think it all happened the way it was supposed to happen. I'm not quite sure that I even planned it because it became this powerhouse with Disney. And you actually don't know, at least for myself personally, you're not really sure what you're talking about.
Or what you're going into, right? You can't know at that time when you're that young that the steps you're going to take that will lead you through your journey. What a great journey.
Thanks.
Challenge and triumph and, all over the show, which is what a great life should be. But when you're that young and you're walking into that experience, you don't know.
No.
You're just excited to be asked.
It's true. It's very true. But that was a rude awakening for me, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's how it happened. I'm grateful for where I started. I think maybe people think of me as that little girl and I'm okay with that.
I don't know.
I have no problem being proud of where I came from in every sense of that sentence. So
we could dead that right now if you want, once and for all. You know that little leftover in the bottom of the bottle? We can empty that if you want right now.
I don't want to.
Well, I'm saying I can.
Here's why I'm telling you is because I love the Littles. I love the Littles. They're just the best. They're real and honest and I still have to stay connected to them.
Yeah.
Because it's so genuine. So I do animations and I get to be a part of some family stuff because that's real.
I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear that.
I can't help it.
Well, what I was going to do in order to empty the bottle out was I was going to play your next song, which is called Look at It Now, which would have been a perfect radio segue, but you completely destroyed it in an even better way.
Look, I'm sorry. What am I going to do?
No. Keep the littles.
Yes.
Keep the littles. Look at Her Now is the name of the song. If you haven't seen the video, then carve yourself some minutes to do it. You just heard it on New Music Daily, one of 2 brand new songs that officially welcomes Selena Gomez back. And for the first time right here, at least in front of me, in the Beats One Studio A in Los Angeles, getting a chance to kick it, hang out, and play your music and talk about it. So I guess we should focus on that song, Look at Her Now. That's a moment of absolute self-empowerment. You need to know who you are at that moment in time to make that song believable.
Yeah.
You couldn't have written it or performed it unless you got there.
Absolutely.
How hard was it to get there, to a place where you could write and record that in the last 12 months?
It just got weird. It just got really complicated. And I started noticing that my life just became a story and it was entertainment. And I was just not okay with that because it was real and it was very real to me. And I think that's the time I needed to just say, I'm not going to be a part of this anymore. And how am I going to not be afraid to share what I feel just because I'm mad at what the world is doing? It's not really going to get me anywhere. Everything that I do is with good intention. That's who I am. That's always who I will be.
The people pleaser.
Yeah. Have you ever taken the Enneagram test?
I have
You
not,
should.
but I bet I know where I come in it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
That's all for me to have figured out when that was going to happen. Had I released this a year ago, there's no way in hell. No way that I could have been able to sit here and talk about it or even release this to anyone.
Yeah.
Because I did need to experience it on my own.
And what did it feel like when you were in it, with the benefit of hindsight now, knowing you've made your way out? Because I can talk about that all day. When people say to me, when you were at the worst point, when your anxiety and your depression was at the worst point,
Right.
I know exactly how it felt.
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to forget it in a weird way. I don't make it a crutch, but I remind myself how far I've come.
Right.
Does it make sense?
Of course it does. It was awful. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. And that's okay. You know, I think I had experienced years of it already. So I wasn't really thrown off, but I was just exhausted.
Yeah.
My heart was just so tired. And I think that allowing myself to just say that was important for me.
God, the courage it takes. It's funny when we sit here and talk about this now, it seems so simple. It seems like such a simple declaration at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
To say, I'm tired, I need to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, it just feels like you need to summon this courage from like somewhere super deep to do that.
For sure.
It's so easy to lose perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the middle of all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I needed to shut it all off. That's why I made it known that I wasn't on Instagram for a while and just actually experienced life the way that I should. Because I don't think I ever let myself just be when I felt things. I always felt like, well, I got to keep getting back up. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I don't want to look weak. I don't want to look this way or that way. And that would end with me just kind of being burnt out. And so taking the time that I did with this, it actually brings me so much joy.
Oh, man.
Because I'm in the place where I can talk about it and share with everyone. And this is, you know, to be honest, this is just the first 2 songs. And I fully believe that I've saved the best for last.
I'm going to play you something right now, which I think is going to qualify that. No, this is good. So I'm going to take my mics down for the purposes of edit, and then we'll reflect in a second. But you know this voice.
It's the best thing she's ever done. She came over, she played me the video. It's just, I'm so proud of her. She's been through so much. I've watched so much happen in her life and had a front row seat to so much. And I'm so proud of her. And she is such a revelation because she's making her best stuff. Like this, I'm 100% convinced this is the best thing she's done so far.
What was the difference between then and now? Where is she at in her life, in your opinion, as one of her best friends, to get her to a place where her music is reflecting her life in this way?
You know, I think no one can say that better than she can. But just from my perspective as her friend, I've just never been more proud. The things that she's overcome, the situations that she's risen above. It's been a long time that we've been friends, and she's the best. She's just the best. And she's, you know, I'm really excited because when somebody has had great life experience, has had, you know, really tough things they've had to go through, and they can process that and make art that's going to help other people, that's what kind of song this is. I'm stoked.
Taylor. No, that was very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, about 13 years.
The challenge and the triumphs of sharing these things with friends.
Right.
I mean, without them, where do we go?
I don't know.
And
I really don't.
What kind of friend has she been to you through those times?
Amazing. For sure. She was frustrated when I was frustrated. She was sad when I was sad. But more than anything, my friends stood by my side.
Mm.
When I think they visibly saw me in so much pain. And they didn't want it for me, but sorry.
Oh, no, it's...
They never stopped loving me. And I played her the song and I played it with her mom and dad. And I showed her the video and her mom and Taylor started crying. And it wasn't because the song was emotional. It was just because the first thing they said to me was, "We're so happy that you're here."
Yeah.
After seeing all of that,
Yeah.
This is such a cool moment. And that's a huge thing for me. So down to my friends back home, my family, my papa crying, saying, I hate that you went through what you went through. It breaks my heart, but I'm so proud of you. So
this is real life stuff. This is what we were talking about before we got moving. You know, we were talking about the humanity in this whole experience.
Right.
And we forget because we take this music, we absorb it to our own lives. Mm-hmm. And we thank you for it. But we don't often go much further than that sometimes, even if we mean to.
Yeah.
Because we're focusing on our own lives and everything else.
Of course.
I'm really obsessed with this idea of empathy and the artistic spirit.
Yeah, I agree.
Because so much of what you go through as a person ends up in these 3-4 minute songs.
Yeah.
And we forget the journey that takes you there and what
True.
it takes to get to a point where that piece of music matters to you enough to share it.
Yeah. And she actually is someone that taught me how to do that really well in a very unapologetic way. I think that's helped me grow as an artist. It's helped me grow as a person. And that's what it all should boil down to, is actually the moment you let all the guards down, it actually is the most rewarding.
That's the point.
Freeing.
That's the point.
Experience. And on to a little bit to what you were saying with empathy, I think in general, we are all lacking empathy.
And you're an empath. I can tell that already.
Clearly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You absorb and process.
For me, it's just connection. I love people. And I hurt when people hurt. I get frustrated at things. But I mean, at the end of the day, what's the point of me being in the seat? What's the point of me even having what I have? It's for people. And I never take that for granted. You know, you don't have to, pardon my language, you don't have to really f with me, but you can enjoy my music and you can recognize the words as something that's real and that people walk through, even the happy songs. And on the album, I have a song that's solely about me making myself be sad.
Can you tell us what it's called?
No. I mean, I wanted to, but I'm probably going to get killed. Anyway.
It's all right. It's just a title. But
it is. But it's along those lines. It's basically even me saying, look, I'm just going to sit here and keep going down this spiral.
And that wasn't for a scoop, by the way. I genuinely wanted to know. So you can tell me off mic.
No, it's okay. Yeah, that's what it embodies, you know? And so that's the topics I'm interested in. You know, I have another song that's strictly about vulnerability. And that was a version of me actually having fun with it. Saying I could be knocked down repeatedly, but I'm never going to not be vulnerable. I don't want to be jaded. I don't want to experience things and say, well, this is going to be bad, or I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I'm happy and I want like a second chance at everything. And I want to do it like it's brand new.
You hear what you just said there?
What did I say?
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, that's big.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I saw the button.
Drop a bomb on a gratitude.
Yeah, apparently.
That's a big moment, you know, when you come back to that place.
For sure.
And, you realize that you can let it go. It's so fascinating to me that someone who is so sensitive and such an empath and so honest and so aware of your vulnerability has become somebody who is so well known and so visible and so noisy. Normally, the people that go out there and have over 100 million followers on an Instagram account are the ones that want it real bad. And it seems to me like it just landed on your lap.
People are like, so how do you feel about that? And I'm like, honestly,
I have no idea.
I don't know. It's actually fun. You know, I remember when Instagram first came out, it was so new and everybody was into it. And I don't know. I just thought it was a place where you could filter yourself and just put it on.
Yeah.
And it's become this beast of sorts. And no, I don't crave needing more. I don't need more of anything. But it's actually been great because that means I'm doing something good.
You don't crave or need more of anything? Like, if I don't ride my bike in the morning now,
that's cute.
I go crazy. I go crazy. It's true.
I like that.
You know the difference now between me after I've done the little Peloton run and me when I don't. I mean, I go mental.
That's accurate.
I crave that. I crave that.
Of course.
You don't crave bit like Haagen-Dazs? I crave strawberry cheesecake.
If we're talking about cravings, whoa. If we're talking about cravings, of course I do. I mean,
what's the ice cream flavor?
Rocky Road.
Standard.
Wow. You're really going to hit me with that?
Come on, man. You got to go for like the deluxe edition. Where's the Haagen-Dazs, the strawberry cheesecake? That is out of control. I don't even think you have that out here. You can only get that in Britain and in Europe. That's like a specific edition.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
With the little crunchy bits of biscuit?
No. Because you can add brownies and you can add whipped cream and you can add all different types. Oh, you don't put
whipped cream on your ice cream.
I 100% do, and I'm not going to let you judge me for that.
I'm judging.
Well,
I am judging.
And I judge you for the stain on your shirt.
Oh, you're sharp. Nothing gets past you, huh? Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's the last time I ever tell you anything off mic. But you must have seen, and there's a long way to go. Let me preface this by saying there's a long way to go. But there's change afoot. There are things happening. There are conversations being had. There is loudness in areas that needs to be loud.
Right.
And you've been in places where it was too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, hear a pin drop silent. And now it's not that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it must be nice to be maturing and growing as an artist and a human being and seeing, despite the fact that I'm sure you've witnessed and experienced some horrendous things,
Mm-hmm.
to be seeing that slowly starting to change.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that?
I do. I really do. And it's actually the best feeling. And, I always say this, one of the worst moments of my life ended up being the biggest blessing that I've ever had. I was set free. And I think even from stuff that I had
Is
been
it wrong for me to
experiencing-
ask what that was?
I mean, but here's the thing. It's not anything like we're going to dissect. It's more my life. It's more actually working since I was 7. Being away from my family, moving from Texas to here, experiencing fame, being confused by what that means, trying to grow up, being in such a weird position where people are actually caring and being awkward because you're growing up. And I think I was scared of it and I probably hated most of it. But with that time that I've been given, I've just been able to come out on the other side and be okay. And I don't really know how, other than all the work that I did, meaning friends, therapy, taking time off, going back to Texas, just enjoying what's right in front of me. And I feel this huge shift. At the beginning of the year, it's when it all started changing. I started seeing things differently. And I just think I needed a little more breaking. And then I found it. You know what you say though, but that's truth.
I love that.
Because when you're with someone and it's your best friend or they're talking about, their boyfriend or their best friend or whatever, it's that exact feeling of just, you got to go through it. And you can't tell someone what to do. You just can't. I had millions of people around me telling me all kinds of things. And it didn't matter because it was what I wanted. And I needed that. And I feel that way about everyone in my life. You have to have that moment. Who's going to be there for that moment is what counts.
And did you let people go to get here? Did you have to take a look at the people who are around you and just be like, it's time to let people go?
For sure. But it was also even a lot of this industry letting go.
Yeah.
Because it's disgusting to see what people will do for some attention. And that leaves you with a horrible feeling.
Oh,
even
man.
if it's not me, but it's just something I'm not really cool with.
I hope most people are not cool with it growing up and getting to a point where they realize they don't want that in their life. And I mean that in a kind of holistic way.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that for other people.
No, I understand. But that's what it is, right? People are in your life for seasons and they're there to teach you something, and some stick and some don't. And people don't like change. It's uncomfortable, it's awkward, but once you understand to enjoy it, it actually starts to become bigger than having 100 friends. Because now I get to go home with the 5 friends that I know have my back for life. And we can just sit outside and do and be
friend stuff.
Yeah, just do us, enjoy it.
And what is home like now? Does home feel good now?
It does. I have my little dog, which has changed my life. Probably not a healthy way because I only want to be with my dog now.
I understand. Okay, I was never a dog person.
Right.
And it wasn't that I was anti-dog, but I was just more pro-me.
Yeah.
I was like, I need my sleep.
Yeah.
I need my sleep. I need my lifestyle.
Right.
I've got 2 kids and a wife. I'm golden.
Right.
And then we came to California and I could just see them just planting the seed. And I could hear the little 3 of them, the little conversations being had in the room next door about the dog. And like, so it'll be the right time to take him down and show him the dog. And I was like, oh my God.
I love this. Respect.
Seriously, this clandestine shit. And then I finally went down and met my dog and I was like, oh man.
It's everything. That's how I feel.
What kind of dog you got?
I have a Maltipoo.
I got a pit bull corgi.
Oh, I love pit bulls.
With little legs.
That's so cute.
He's like George Clooney with little legs. He's so handsome. He's so handsome.
Well, there's that, I guess.
It's true. It's true. I'm going to show you.
I want to see. I'll show you mine.
Oh my God. He's the cutest thing. I'll turn my phone off. I'll tell you after. I'll show you after.
But that's the stuff. That's my home. Making food. My Nana's in town, so she's making me chicken and dumplings, and we're watching Lifetime movies, and
Oh, that
we're
sounds
outside.
beautiful.
Just enjoying life. That's my home.
I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I knew, man. I always felt like there's such a story in there if you want to tell it, and it's ongoing, and there's a journey, and there's a real person who wants to tell the truth and help others. You're such an empath. It's really fascinating to me, and so much heartbreak. It sucks. You've had
all
to go
good.
through that, but so much love in your life too, which is amazing.
Yeah. But you know what? This whole chapter for me isn't poor me.
Yeah.
And I don't allow that. I don't want that from anyone.
Yeah.
I want it to be more like, get it.
You did it.
You did it, and you're going to get that.
And you're doing it.
Yes. And that's full circle for me. It really is. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it all. And I'm ready.
Is the music done?
Yeah.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapped up.
That's right. So weird. It's so weird, but I can't wait for people to hear it. I really am excited for people to hear it. I wonder what they're going to feel and think.
That's a beautiful place to be, to wonder what they're going to feel and think and not know it just yet. That's the sweet spot. If you're an artist, that's the sweetest spot of all, knowing you're holding on to it. It's personal to you, and then you get to absorb that experience and actually throw yourself in that experience, not fear it.
Right.
But just be like, I wonder what they're going to think of this song.
Right. Well, it's done at the end of the day. So that's all I can do with it.
Are we just getting started in terms of telling the story, in terms of opening the door for people to understand who you are now and what you've been through to get here?
For sure. But I think the first two songs were important for me to kind of release. And then the rest of it is very much, it's very much where I am. And however that looks. And it's actually really cool, because even down to the track list and putting them in order, it actually goes really well with one another. And yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess.
I have so many questions about the music, but I already know you well enough to know you're not going to answer them. So I'm going
I can
to...
give you a little bit.
Here's a little bit.
Here's a little bit.
What can you tell us? I'll open it up to you, and you can tell us whatever you feel like sharing.
I think people are here that work on things with me.
Just a little bit.
No. I actually gave you more than
We're in a
I've
meaningful place.
given most. Of course we are.
As far as first impressions go,
Of course.
we're in a place of trust.
That's true. But at the end of the day, there's still that clickbait moment. And
You're wrapping me up here, Gomez. You're literally wrapping me up here.
no. Yes, one of my favorite songs on the record is about vulnerability.
Yes.
So that is one record I'm really excited about.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one question. You don't have to tell me who. Are there guests on the record, or is it purely you? Are you allowing the space for you to tell your story entirely on your own space?
At the moment, just me.
Good for you. I kind of hope it stays that way. I know that's selfish of me to say. That's your album.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Right? I mean, I have dreams, for sure. I have dreams. So I do mean that in a real way. So we'll figure that out.
Good to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you.
Thanks for helping us kick off this show, and thanks for being so honest and open. I really appreciate you coming back with such great music. Selena Gomez, everybody. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch up with you again next week on New Music Daily. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
New Music Daily on Apple Music.